guys, it's OMG Cranberries #1 here again, and this is part 2 of my Gundam Mark II Perfect Grade review. And I've got him completed and assembled. I have not put the decals on him or the seals. And as you can see, there are quite a few parts. So I'm just going to put the camera down here and we'll get started with the head. Alright, now first things first, head, we'll go about that far, because you don't want to tear the wires out for the eyes. Now, panels on the head will open like that to show the inner frame. So with the top piece right here, and you got to put this piece down first to get these back. Now, on top of the chest here, there are two panels that lift up. You can expose some framework in there. Now, for the cockpit, you pull this forward and lift it up. It all goes about that far. So you gotta pull this piece down. Make sure torso's out of the way, and you can see down inside there, if I had batteries in it, it'd be glowing green. But there's actually a metallic ball down inside of the ball cockpit that reflects the green light. So, and you just reverse that order and pop that back. Now inside there's a door on the ball, but I don't have fingernails, so I can't get it. I don't feel like finding a pin. But the front skirts come up about that high. Side skirts, this doesn't move, but this panel pops down for the bazooka. You just clip it on there, which I'll show you here in a second. Now, on the bottom of the legs here, I left these on because they're kind of hard to get on, but you got some metallic piping, which is really nice. And it'll split like that. And that'll about do it for the... Oh, wait, never mind. The torso... Ooh, well, that didn't sound good, did it? Parts just popped off, that's all. The torso will rotate a little bit, but I don't have the screws in the bottom of it, and that's why it keeps popping off like that. So, pretty good articulation, and it will rotate, but only about that far, not far. So we're going to sit him down, grab this real quick. Alright, now here's the shield. There's the shield, and there's the clamp that you can put on the arm so you don't have to twist his arm to the I'm showing off my tattoos pose. Now this will fold up so you can put him in that pose if you want, just like that. Now for the shield, there are two ammo packs for the beam rifle that are disconnectable, and you can put those on the beam rifle if you choose. Now, to transform the shield into its compact mode, you do that, push this in, and just slide that down. And I think, now you do have to be careful because these will get caught on each other once in a while, but you'll get a nice satisfying click when each time it hits one of the grooves. And you have the Mark II Shield Compact. And for the for the 60mm Vulcan unit, it's just a little wraparound cord. Now, I did not have to put this posable piece together. It was already on a specific sheet with the fingers, and they were pre-assembled, I guess, at the factory. Now, I have started painting that so I can get it to look good, but I had a problem with the antenna. It snapped when I pulled it off the sheet. So I just gotta get some Model Masters glue and fix that. Model Masters glue is also I highly recommend it because it's specifically designed for plastic model kits. Now, I took apart the left arm so I could show it to you individually. Here's what the arm will look like completed. But let's look at it in its individual parts, and we'll start off with the shoulder, which is pretty basic. You just got a little pivoting joint in here. Oh, that's the thing. The front and back panels will pop out like that. and this will pop up to expose the inner detail. Keep in mind also, I have not painted any of this kit or applied any decals. Now here is the upper part of the arm. It's just a little block pretty much that will bend like that, and there's some pipes in the back of it. You just do that. Now to get the lower part of the arm, which is this right here, you can actually pop this up. Give me a second. There we go. Pop that out like that, and you can see some frame. Now to get the two pieces together, you take this and you line it up with that right there, and you just slide it back onto it. Now when you do that, you're going to want to take something small enough to get in there, and like this, I'm using the beam saber effect part, and you just want to slide that up until it gets up in there, and if you can't hear it, it will give you a nice little click, very faint though. And you just put that back together, and you put that on there, and there's the arm, and you'll get a full 180 almost. There it goes. Full 180 out of the arm. It will rotate at the shoulder, and there are actually pistons down inside the arm that will allow the wrist to move, if you can see that, which is really, really cool. One of the reasons I bought this perfect grade as well is just the articulation alone from the hands and arms. Now for the hand, you get pretty much a standard perfect grade hand, I assume, because this is my first one, I don't really know. And you can individually move every finger. Now I do have a little bit of problems with the foam when I'm putting weapons on him or posing him, that it will pop out of that joint right there, but it's no big deal because it'll go right back in. Now, one of my favorite poses to do with this guy is that one. But the thumb will pivot as well. It'll at the base, and it will rotate, but I don't see a need for that. Each finger, like I said, is individual, and it's on a ball joint, so when you connect it into the arm, you'll hear a nice little thoop, little silent click kind of deal, and you just put it. And the realism in these hands just really pushed me to buy this, because you can get it to look like an actual human fist. And now we'll take a look at the legs. The leg is really cool because it will bend right there, almost like a mobile armor. And I just popped the bottom piece off of it, and it also has these metal pipes in the back here. This little piece will move in and out. These little panels that you see right here will pop up. The ankle armor will not move unless you move the entire foot. It does have pistons down in there. You can see those. Now, it also has these pop out parts. I don't know what this is for. I guess it's just for the thrusters in the leg, I guess, and cooling vents. But you also have another set of gold chains on the back. Now, this also does the disconnecting part like the arm does. But I'm not going to get into that because it's actually kind of hard to get to. So if you can avoid doing that after putting this kit together, I highly recommend it. But you will get a full 180 out of the knee and leg joints. And the leg ankle will bend about like that, from side to side. Little parts here and there will touch, so hear a little bit of clicking. It's nothing major, it's just touching part. Okay, now we'll look at the final bits of weapons, and that'll wrap up this part of the review. Alright, starting off with the Hyper Bazooka. Now, this weapon's pretty long in itself, and all the weapons, by the way, have a wonderful connector that will rotate out of the handle. You can see it right there. See if I can focus my camera a little bit. Nope. Looks like that's about as good as it's going to get. And it's completely hollow all the way down to the end. And another cool thing is you can take this off and you've got 5 little missiles, maybe a few more, and then you can put this little piece on. I can get it on here, and it's on, and it will click. That's what that noise was. And there's the ammo pack, and you can actually attach this to the side skirt. It's not a fancy connection, but it does the job. Now, for the beam rifle, I like the way this thing looks, real futuristic, but yet it looks familiar. Now, the ammo pack will disconnect, like that. This extra handle will come up and down, so will the sight on the top. And that's about all the moving parts on this, except for the clip that's right here. And I will go ahead and demonstrate I will not close his hand in around it. Let me get it on here. There went the thumb, if you could hear that. But that's not coming off. And I do not have the hand wrapped around it, as you can see. Weapon connections are excellent. Alright, now for the final piece, well, one of the final pieces, we have the jetpack. Now these pieces here, for the thrusters, the whole thing will slide out a little bit and back in. But this one I kind of messed up the poly cap and the sides ripped off, so I just leave them in like that. Other than that though, each thruster will move individually a very little bit, if you can see there. The top parts with the gold chains coming out will rotate a little bit, but I don't want to rip the chain out. So this is also where they store the batteries. You need, I think it's LR or RV43 hearing aid battery kind of deal, or like a watch battery. Needs 2 of them. Now the beam sabers, you get the nice handle, which for the kit to store them, it actually tells you to leave the clip for the hand out and just plug it down on the rotating polycap joint. Well, I think it's just regular piece, and it will come out like that, about that far, and you just clip it back in. But I'm going to take that off, and you get 2 pink beam saber effect parts, and it makes one of the biggest weapons I have ever had on a Gundam. I know it's just a beam saber, but that is amazing size for a beam saber. Alright, well, tune in next time and I will have this guy completely put together and we will look at the articulation. See you later, folks. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.